Hi, grade 10. I would like to wish you the best of luck. In the previous video, I explained the essay Why Leaves Turn Color in the Fall, written by Diane Ackerman. Ackerman's purpose is to describe the arrival of autumn or fall. She uses sensory details and imagery. Ackerman says that people hope they won't vanish when they die. Instead, they hope to go from one beautiful state into another. The author also informs readers about the origin of the word fall and refers to Adam and Eve's fall in the Garden of Eden. We can find some examples of how Diane Ackerman shares her purpose throughout the essay. And you know that her overall purpose in this essay is to explain why leaves turn color and fall from trees. To that end, she uses scientific terms. I will complete page 205, okay? But before I start, I want to remind you of her patterns of organization. I told you that she uses at least three patterns of organization to arrange and present her ideas. The first pattern of organization was the use of cause and effect in this paragraph. The second pattern of organization she uses was comparison and contrast. Okay, and the last one or the last pattern was main idea and supporting details. And last time we identified the main idea, we called the season fall, and we underlined the supporting details which support the main idea. Now, let's move to paragraph 2. Here also you have to write next to this paragraph the pattern of organization is main idea and supporting details. Okay? So, the pattern of organization of this paragraph, the main idea and supporting detail. Now, if I ask you what's the main idea of this paragraph, you have to write the main idea above this paragraph. Beauty and fun play a key role in human life. You know that the author Diane Ackerman makes a connection between the beauty of nature and leaves falling. Okay, and she explains the main role of um, leaves falling in human life. So you have to write this main idea. Now, one, two, three. These three points are the supporting details. So the first supporting detail, write supporting detail. Children love to play in piles of leaves, hurling them into the air like confetti, leaping into soft, unruly mattresses of them. Okay, so again, um, you have to know this is the first supporting detail that she describes how children love to play in leaves, and you have to know that she compares the hurling leaves into the air like confetti, and you have to know that confetti means small pieces of colored paper. So she compares hurling leaves to confetti. So you have to write here simile. Okay. The second supporting detail is the beauty, okay, of leaves will help you forget about time and death. Okay. The third one, Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve concealed or hidden their nakedness with leaves, and you know that this part is mentioned in our holy book Quran and Bible also. So these are the supporting details which tell you how the beauty of leaves plays a key role in human life. Okay, let's move to the last paragraph, but before moving there, let's read the question here. What role does Ackerman think beauty plays in human life? You have to know that this paragraph shows the important role, okay, of leaves, okay, it plays in human life. I wanted to highlight, okay, these lines, okay, because these lines show okay, the purpose of writing plus the writing style of the author. They here are referred to leaves. They glide. Glide means moving. So leaves glide or move, and the swoop, which means attack, rocking in invisible cradle. You know that the cradles mean baby bed. Okay, they are leaves, are all wing and may flare from year to yard on small whirlwinds or updraft, swiveling, which means turning as they go. Now, look at the words or terms the author used here to describe the beauty of leaves. Leaves glide, leaves swoop, cradles, leaves flutter or fly. So you have to write here a note next that the use of poetic diction. I told you before that the author used two types of dictions, scientific dictions and poetic dictions. Poetic dictions, words used in poetry. So write this note next to these highlighted words or sentences, the use of poetic diction. And the main purpose of this paragraph is to describe the beauty of leaves, okay? Now, they also refer to leaves, remind us that the end of a season is capricious, is the end of life. Okay, so this is the answer of this question here. What role does Ackerman think a beauty plays in human life? The answer is beauty distracts us from uncomfortable truth like the passage of time and death. So beauty distracts us, okay, from uncomfortable truth like the passage of time and death. So let's say that the beauty of leaves helps us forget, okay, the passage of time and death. Okay, let's move to the next page here and let's focus on the question. Underline examples of poetic language and image. You know that the author used imagery and poetic languages, okay, to deliver the message of beauty. Okay, so what is Ackerman's purpose in this paragraph? I wanted to highlight these words. These words are examples of poetic language. Okay, number one, they crunch and crackle. You know that crackle like pop underfoot. You know that leaves crunch and crackle. Here we have a figure of speech or two figures of speech, imagery, okay, and number two, just I want to, okay, imagery and onomatopoeia. Okay, you know that onomatopoeia, which means sounds, because there are two sounds, crunch and crackle. The second one, dark, slimy mats of leaves. Of course, there's a metaphor here. You have to write metaphor because she compares leaves to a slimy mat. Tender shoots with a roof and until spring. You know, these highlighted words are examples of poetic language. When I ask you to give me examples of poetic language, you have to use these, okay? So, number one, or you have to, okay. Then they crunch and crackle, dark slime mats of leaves, tender shoots with a roof until spring, and rich humus. You know that humus, guys, means the organic component of soil formed by the decomposition of leaves and other plant material by soil. Okay, microorganisms. Um, Field mouse channeling out of soil, fossils, stones, the imprint of a leaf. So these are examples of the use of poetic language. What's the purpose here? To describe the look, sound, and feel of fall leaves. Okay. Now move to page 208. You have to know that this exercise is done, okay, on page 205 because I identified the main ideas and the supporting details. So this exercise or this question is what is done. Now, Move to vocabulary practice. Okay. Now, with great stealth, the lioness tracked her prey. You know that is stealth, which means sneaking. Try not to be capricious or impulsive or changing mood. Think before you act. Our teacher's edict was that tardy or late students would be locked out. Okay. Now, adaptation to a new environment ensures the survival of species. He shook my hand robustly as an animal lover I am predisposed to. Now, so this is the answer of this vocabulary practice. Now, you can move to the last assessment practice here. The author's main purpose in the essay is to A. Explain why leaves change color in autumn. In lines 10 to 15, Ackerman uses sensory details to why to create images of autumn in readers' minds. Which pattern of organization does the author uses? Cause and effect in these lines. Why do leaves appear green in summer? Because the chlorophyll hides the other pigments in the leaves. According to Ackerman, fall colors may allow people to hope that death is just a lovely transformation. They glide and swoop, rocking invisible cradles. Which of the following described by the image? Leaves falling from trees. Okay.